Live from Los Angeles. Welcome back to Good Morning LaLa. It's hashtag Friday Feels in the house. And we have got Miss Kimberly Caldwell with all the straight talk.
Yeah, girl.
I am so excited that you are here this morning.
I am so excited to be here.
You are a regular on Steve Harvey as straight. I mean, what is up? How did you, what is that all about?
What? First of all, I'm a giant Steve Harvey fan. And you know when you meet somebody that's super famous and you're always a little disappointed here in Hollywood? He does not disappoint. He's like the greatest guy ever. And he has the best advice. And I've read his books and I've followed him, and so when I got the opportunity to be on Straight Talk, they were just like, pretty much, be candid about your life and it's about sex and relationships. That's why I'm here this morning.
Perfect.
And my husband, has to put up with that. And he's normally on the side giving me a thumbs up, just like, air our dirty laundry if it'll help people. As long as it helps people.
As long as it entertains.
Yeah, exactly.
Well, let me tell
love
you,
being on the show.
Though, you do not disappoint either.
Thanks,
yeah,
babe.
The second I met her, you were so authentic and genuine. And I just love, though, that you are like unapologetically just being vulnerable with your story and the story of you and your husband. And you're doing it on Steve Harvey.
There I am.
And you have fabulous hair.
Right. Oh, thank you so much. Yeah, well, my roots need done right now, but I did just chop off all of my hair live on Instagram the other day.
You did this yourself.
I did this myself.
That's
So
amazing.
I have a column in Sophisticate's Hairstyle Guide magazine, and I do their beauty blogging. And so I love teaching women that they can do it all on their own. So everything from cut, color, styling, and then makeup as well.
I mean, I hear you.
So
I've been
I
making my own
divulge.
jackets. I'm all about doing it yourself.
Yeah,
So
I know. I love your
I'm
jacket.
gonna need some input.
It's so good. Well, here's the trick. You take scissors and you just start chopping. And then you clean it up later.
No, but first you pray.
Yeah, exactly. Lots of praying.
Yeah, bless these scissors in my hands, because that would be a mess.
Yeah, lots of praying, for sure.
So I've got a question.
Sure,
So you
tell
get
me.
this great advice from Steve Harvey. What would you say is the best piece of advice you've gotten from him?
Oh, from Steve?
Yeah.
Oh, gosh. I'm like all the advice. Did you read the book, Act Like a Lady, Think Like a Man?
I did.
I'm telling you, that was my first piece of advice before I met Steve, and I read that book, and it really got my head right. I absolutely loved it. And so, I kind of think like a dude anyways. I'm from Texas, and, I like to be a little rough around the edges, and so I try to put myself, in their head, in your head.
So how would a woman begin to do that? How could I start actually thinking like a man? Because maybe it would work better for me.
Well, what I think you need to do is come out to a soccer game. So my husband plays for the new soccer team out here, the Major League Soccer team, LAFC. Have you guys been to a game yet?
No.
Anybody? Have you guys been? Okay,
My
we got to
girlfriend
take
went.
the Good Morning LaLa Land crew over there. And are you single too?
I'm not. I have a boyfriend.
Oh, okay. Well, I was about to say, if we dangle two gorgeous wands in front of the soccer team, something is sure to happen.
We're making some wins.
Yeah,
We'll
I'm
definitely
telling
get
you.
wins.
You know what?
Anyways.
I'm really all about just putting yourself out there. And like you said, being unapologetic, but also like being yourself and realizing that there are boundaries. So you don't have to divulge everything at the beginning. Make him think you're not crazy. Let him marry you, and then
Switch
let him
and
realize.
bait.
No.
Switch and bait.
Honestly, I'm telling you, my mother, my husband called my mom to ask for my hand in marriage, and because we weren't living in the same place. And so he called her, and she goes, well, you already know she's crazy, so good luck.
No, that was not what
That
she
was my
said.
mother. My mother said this. Yes, and I told that story on the Steve Harvey show. And so I think being authentic, laying it all out there, but at the same time, keeping like a little mystery in the air. But now that we're married and have a 2-year-old, like we go to bed with zit cream on our face, and we both do. He's a little metro. So, I think it's all about taking care of yourself and realizing that when you're dating, you were fine before you met them. You're going to be fine after them, and knowing that you're the prize and remembering that you're the prize.
But at what point then do you let them actually see the zit cream? Because I'm a girl who will sleep in the eyelashes. I'm like,
really?
Totally.
Oh my gosh.
See everything.
But you're so gorgeous.
Oh, well, thank you, but I want.
I mean, I've never seen you without lashes. I'm sure it's horrible.
Horrible. You wouldn't recognize me. No, but no, it's really. I'm really self-conscious about that.
I think that's
because I
so
feel like I have something
crazy.
to prove. Like, don't you want me? Look how perfect I am. I can even sleep like this.
But really, does anybody want perfection? I think that imperfections is what makes somebody sexy. I remember when I met my husband, and you know, just the things that made him not every other guy is what made me attracted to him. And I think that was the same with me, is he was like, wow, this girl is, you know, doesn't have manners, is not ladylike, and just, you know, lays it all out there. And I think that that is kind of what makes you attractive, is what makes you different.
Right.
So not being the girl that sleeps in lashes.
And I suppose not apologizing for it too, because I've been called out for that. Why are you apologizing for everything? Why are you always asking for permission? And I'm like, ooh, because I don't want to make you mad.
Yeah, I used to do the same thing, but it's like, do you really want to be with somebody who you have to apologize to all the time? You want to be with somebody, and I also think, like, you know, you never want to chase. Like when I met my husband, we went out on our first date. We took all these photos. I was like head over heels for him. And I was on a radio tour promoting my album for Capitol Records. So I was like, this guy is way too hot. He is going to ruin everything. And so I erased our first date pictures. I'm not kidding. I erased them. I was like, he is gone. We are done. Married with a baby.
But how did you change your mind? You erased the pictures, then what?
Because guess what? He kept following up. And I was so used to being in Hollywood and dating all the Hollywood guys that did not follow up. And then you're like, why didn't he call me? And I was like over it. I was like, I'm going to do my thing. I don't need anybody. And then that's when you meet the one.
Right.
Jess is
You
great
know?
about that. You don't even chase your liquor.
Well, what
I
do
don't
you have
You
to
don't
chase?
chase.
I would
She doesn't
chase her.
Yeah, she doesn't have
And
to chase.
I'm
She
very
doesn't chase.
straight, and I would chase you to date you.
I will say I'm really good about like the friend zone wall. I'm like, don't get too close.
Really?
I gotta drop that.
Oh wait, so you want them to be in the friend zone, or you like keep them there
but
to
I
keep
just
yourself
do it.
safe?
I keep myself safe. I put that friend zone wall up. I sleep in my lashes, and I'm like, don't see the real me. Don't.
You're like, I'm so pretty. I'm so pretty. I feel pretty.
Age will cure you of that.
I
Exactly.
gotta, maybe I'll read Steve's book. I've got to keep listening to that. If
Yeah,
I'm going to be
I think so.
dangled in front of the soccer team, I better be ready for
Yeah,
it.
listen. You will only need to be dangled momentarily, and
Jamal,
then you're
we're
going to
going to
be
need
eaten
you on
alive
standby
by
for that one.
Yeah.
So, Kimberly, I have a question for you. So now you're married. Now you're, you know, obviously you're just a charismatic woman. Let's just face the fact. Like,
I'm just
incredible.
a little loud.
But so how do you keep that fire going in your marriage?
Oh wow. So I'm not kidding. There's like one time. So I've gotten a little slack on Steve for this, but I really do try to schedule.
Time.
You know what
Time.
they say that's the way to
This
do it.
special time for us. And if I am not like, listen, today I'm shaving my legs and tonight it's going down. If I don't like literally put it on my schedule and think about it beforehand, life gets too crazy. Now I'm tired. The baby woke up. I have to go do this. I have to prepare for the show that we're doing. And I just, you know, and then all of a sudden it's been a month, you know?
Right.
So I found that literally when I decide, okay, this is the night, it's going down. And then I will let him put the baby to bed. And while he's putting the baby to bed, you know, we just want to get it over with. I can't linger. So while he's putting the baby to bed, I'll put on a little something cute, light up a couple candles, turn on some 90s R&B,
There you
and
go.
we get it done.
Okay, does he
Yeah.
know it's on the schedule?
Oh, he doesn't know it's on the schedule, but he knows if he's putting the baby to sleep and I'm not, he better come in ready.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's hilarious.
Yeah.
I love
I don't know
that.
if that makes me crazy, but it works for us.
No, it doesn't
I'm
make
like,
you
and
crazy at
everybody
all.
always says, I can't believe you do that. That's so like, you know,
No.
not authentic. And I'm like, yeah, well, it gets done though.
It gets done.
It gets done, and the release happens, and then everybody's a happier person.
That's
Better
hilarious.
company.
Yeah.
Oh, there's
where-
so
Better company,
Where can
exactly.
people find you?
You can find me on social media at _Kim Caldwell.
I love
Yeah,
it.
and you can watch me on the Steve Harvey
Harvey.
Show coming up for the Straight Talk panels.
Wow.
Yeah.
I'm
Can't
impressed.
Yeah. Oh, thanks so
Yeah.
much. I'm
Really?
not sure what I did to impress you.
I love girlfriends that are so blunt that I'm just like, oh, I'm just like relieved because then I just know that if I piss you off, you're going to be like, look, we need to talk right now.
Yeah.
Like,
But you're
not
friendly
gonna mess
blunt.
around.
You're like Houston,
Yeah,
Texas.
I was about to
blunt.
say, I
It's
don't
like-
really get pissed
Yeah.
off that often. You know, it takes a lot to piss me off. But no, I just, when I was on American Idol in 2000,
Yeah.
and in the early 2000s, you know, I was launched right into Hollywood, and from there, you know, it takes a toll on you, and you try to be what everybody else wants you to be, and you try to wear the lashes so you're perfect and be perfect. And that was so exhausting to me. I honestly couldn't keep it up. I dealt with a lot of anxiety trying to be everybody else. And then I realized, or I could just be myself and people can either take it or leave it. But the good thing is that being myself makes me different, makes me authentic.
Was there a moment that you thought, you know, enough with the lashes, I'm gonna be myself?
Oh no, girl, I still got the lashes on.
Yeah, no, I mean,
Don't get it twisted.
yeah.
Don't get it twisted.
I mean, just, you know, was there a moment where you decided I'm gonna stop showing up for everybody else, I'm just gonna be myself?
I think that it was years and years and years of hosting television, putting out my album, them saying, this is who you're gonna be, you're not gonna be this person that you think you are, we're gonna create who we want you to be as an artist. That was so hard, but when you have people in Hollywood telling you things, you're like, okay, well, I'll listen, I'll just be whoever you want me to be. It was too exhausting, I couldn't keep it up, and it just took me it took me a really long time, I would say till like my early 30s, even after I met my husband, where I finally was like, whether it's on television or in print or in person or whatever, you're gonna get the exact same person all day long, every day.
I think
Because it was just too exhausting.
That's the same in dating or in marriage. You got to be who you are because you're going to revert back at some point in time.
Yeah, you can't keep that up.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
And listen, and I'm not perfect at all. And, you know, I go through times where, you know, I find myself getting negative or I find myself just kind of like stressed out and the juggle and the struggle of like being a mom and working and, you know, still trying to be a wife and, you know, put on the thing once a week. You know, it gets exhausting, but I just try to like take a second, step back, and take a moment for myself. Like I was telling you, I went hiking the other day, and it was the greatest thing I could have done is because I try to keep myself busy all the time, and I try to stay busy around the clock. But what I'm realizing is the moments where I'm still, the moments that I sit in silence, those are the moments where my greatest ideas come in, and those are the moments where I really get my head straight, and I am able to, by taking those moments for myself, able to be a better mom and able to be a better host and able to be a better.
I knew we'd be friends. Like that is, you're just speaking my heart.
Listen, a little liquor helps. As well.
It does.
It helps all things.
Little rosé never
Thank you
hurts.
so much for taking time out of your busy life. We really
Thank you
appreciate it.
so much. I love
Yeah.
your jacket.
Thank
so
you,
I'm
yeah.
a big fan. Big fan. Thanks for having me on the show, guys.
Yeah.